When modern gear disappears, most people panic. They believe survival depends on knives, stoves, GPS, ferro rods, and pre-packed kits. History tells a different story. The people who actually made it through shipwrecks, downed aircraft, lost expeditions, and frontier disasters survived because they could turn raw nature into working tools. No gear is not the end. It is the beginning of real skill. Welcome back to Extreme Outdoor Survival. If you're serious about learning how true survivors operate, subscribe now and stay with me because we're going straight into hands-on, zero-equipment survival. Let's start with the foundation of all wilderness work cutting tools. You don't have steel? Fine. Our ancestors went thousands of years without it. In many environments you can fracture stone to make a sharp edge. Riverbeds, scree slopes, and gravel bars hold pieces of flint, obsidian, quartzite, or even glassy basalt. The practical method is simple. Strike one rock against another at the edge, not the middle, and let the stone flake. You're not carving, you're breaking. The resulting shard becomes a razor for slicing bark, cleaning fish, shaping wood, and scraping hides. It won't last forever, so make more than one. That is primitive redundancy in action. Once you can cut, you can shape wood, and that brings us to the second tool, the digging stick. It sounds primitive because it is primitive and it works. A sturdy hardwood stick, pointed at one end, is a food tool, shelter tool, defensive barrier maker, and fire assistant. Sharpen the tip using your rock flake and harden it slightly in coals, rotating it so you don't burn it. Historically, this single tool supported foraging cultures worldwide. Practical uses include prying roots, loosening soil, opening ant colonies, breaking ice crust, and creating post holes for simple shelters. It replaces the modern shovel more often than people realize. Next comes cordage, because once you can tie things together, your world changes. You don't buy rope in the wild, you manufacture it from fibers. Inner bark from cedar, basswood, willow, and many vines separates into long strips. Twist two strands in opposite directions, and they bind into a strong, flexible line. This is not theory. It is how rafts, fish traps, and shelters have been built for millennia. Cordage lets you make backpacks from bark, hang food, lash tools, and build stretchers. If you remember nothing else, remember this sequence: fiber, twist, reverse twist, tension. Practice it once and the forest becomes a hardware store. Fire tools come next because fire is not optional in cold, wet country. You may not have matches, but the wilderness gives you friction fire materials. Dry inner bark, grasses, and seed heads become tinder bundles. With patience, a bow drill or hand drill made from softwood spindles produces an ember you can feed into that tinder. The important point is realism. This takes time, calm breathing, and the willingness to fail a few times before success. Historical accounts from Arctic and desert cultures alike show the same pattern. The ones who refused to panic got fire. The ones who rushed wasted energy. Your tool here is not just wood, it is rhythm and steady technique. Now we move to containers. Try living without something that carries water and you quickly understand their importance. You can craft them. Birch bark folded along natural grain lines becomes a surprisingly watertight vessel when sealed with pine resin. In other regions, carved wooden bowls or burnt-out log containers serve the same function. Heated rocks placed into water inside these containers allow you to boil without metal pots. That single method sterilizes water, cooks meat, softens roots, and keeps disease off your back. Again, no gear is neither excuse nor sentence. It is problem-solving in action. Let's talk traps only in concept, not complexity. Your goal in survival is calories without burning calories. Tools that work while you rest are survival multipliers. Snares, deadfalls, and fish weirs are based on the same principle: guide movement, trigger pressure, secure food. Even without fine cord, willow withes or split roots can form binding material. Study the sign first: tracks, droppings, path funnels, and place the device where animals already travel. Success comes from reading terrain, not from building elaborate contraptions. Finally, there is shelter tooling. With stone flakes, cordage, digging sticks and cutting edges, you can build structural frameworks. A simple debris hut supported by a ridge pole and packed with leaves and needles traps body heat. Add a smoke-blackened entrance stone and you have windbreak and heat retention combined. Historical winter survivors from Siberian hunters to North American trappers used this same logic: small spaces, thick insulation, minimal air gaps, and tools built from the environment itself. The deeper lesson in all of this is psychological. When you lose your kit, you discover whether you were relying on equipment or on understanding. Tools you craft in the field reconnect you to what every past culture already knew. Human survival is engineering with natural materials, not shopping lists. The wilderness is not empty. It's full of raw resources waiting to be shaped by calm hands and clear thinking. So the next time you head out, don't just carry tools. Learn to replace them, break stone, twist bark, shape wood, build containers, make fire with friction. Think like someone who cannot call for rescue. Because true survival is not owning gear, it's knowing what to do when you don't. If content like this matters to you, subscribe to Extreme Outdoor Survival, share this with someone who takes preparedness seriously, and keep developing real-world skill. Gear breaks. Knowledge doesn't.